I have not done a stream in a long ass time, so we're gonna see if everything is still working properly here. Um, there's a network error. Let's head over to the restream. It's working. It says that I'm streaming. So let's get in real quick and figure out thing properly or not. Got this live here. I am. All right, I am not live. What? Because I'm offline. All right, hold on. I'm still trying to figure out how to get into Ustream since I have my account's gone somewhat. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I had to just relog in. I guess that was weird. All right. Still says that we are offline on Twitch. Let me just check YouTube. Weird. All right. All right, so YouTube's working. So let's turn off Twitch, then turn it back on. I'm gonna try and see if that is going to work. I have a few hours to work on Crewin. We have not worked on Crewin in a long time. At least on it. It was working. Maybe yeah, there's some sort of network error with Twitch. I think it's working, but it's not working for me or something. But essentially, where was I going with this? Um, it's been a long time since we've actually done work on Crewin, and I'm gonna go into little updates on me first before we actually go into it. Um, I think I need to bring myself over here, but I'm not quite sure how I want to do things yet. I'm in the process of making a bunch of upgrades to my office, to my, studio, everything. Um, this camera looks very grainy, and I'm not sure why that is. Um, what happens if I bring it over here? Yeah, that's part of the. Um, go into the camera hub. This might break camera for a moment. Okay, it's occupied. Fine. Okay, cool. So that will help. All right. Whoa. All right. So I can do. Let me quickly hit the. All right, that helps a little bit. All right, white balance is on automatic. We're gonna turn on anti-flicker. It's a little bit, looks a little bit better here. This is 1080 60. Okay. I think the cameras look a little better. All right. Anyway, so on to updates with myself, and we'll just gonna go forward from there. I am graduating college tomorrow. It's my last day of college, which is probably not the best idea to be up this late, but I mean, I have been wanting to do a stream for several weeks, and I finished two out of my three finals. Tomorrow's my last one, so with a lot of that stress off of me, I thought I would do a stream. I have no like purpose for this stream. It's just kind of just me hanging out, doing a little bit of work on Crewin, something I haven't done in months, and we're gonna get into that in a minute here. I have another company, Next Gen IT Solutions. There's a giant spider on my wall. Hold on. Now I just messed up my water. Oh, the nice thing to see is that spider running down my screen. Anywho, um, so as I said, I have another company, Next Gen IT Solutions. That has taken up a huge portion of my time trying to get my business off the ground, and I'm almost there. And I still work a night job, which is where 90 out of my 100% of my hours during the week are going. So there's still not going to be a lot of progress in terms of crewing in the next few months. Probably not until we get towards the end of summer would I be able to put more time towards it, which is fine. I mean, it's not like I'm relying on the game itself to make me any money. It's just kind of something fun I'm doing. We'll release it in a few years and it'll be still fine. Um, so that's the reason why I haven't been doing a lot of stuff with crewing. This time is being the major factor. Another thing being I am currently on a laptop. It is a Dell G16 7630, and I've just been having issues with this thing. Um, I thought it might have been the RAM, so I upgraded and replaced the RAM, and I'm still getting some issues here and there. So I don't know if it's either going to be the operating system or the engine itself that's having some issues running on this laptop. I know the lack of GPU memory still being at 8 gigs is probably a very big issue going forward. So I'm actually working on a development rig, which I might as well open up PC Part Picker. And I don't remember, I think I was going with something budget based, but I kind of want to go take a look here. Yeah, that's not what I wanted to do. So I have a budget build. Um, and let me bring this over. I'm gonna swap everything around now. We're gonna go in game here. All right, there we go. So has been this is the budget build I have. 14,700K. We're gonna be going with an air cooler because we're gonna put it into a 4U chassis to put it into my rack. And then I also have the 2025 Ultimate build. Um, this is a little bit more expensive, but we're going to create a whole new part list and see what we can get. So our budget, with the graphics card is going to be probably 3,500 to 4,000. We actually are going to start off with the video card. Um, it is going to be an RTX 50 series. So probably going to do a 5080 or 5090. Um, that 5090s are like $4,000. So we have a 5080 1400, the PNY. Let's see what can we get. Maybe we should do a 5070 Ti. Not sure yet. Um, let's just go. Let me look up here. Uh, I also have heard rumors of like a super slash TI series coming in over the next several months, so we might be able to get something in there. Trying to see. So yeah, the 5090 you can do a Zotac for 2500 or an MSI for 3200. So definitely not going to be doing the 5090, so we can knock that out. If we do, let's do a 5080 versus 5070 Ti. Let's just see what user benchmark has to say. So the 5080 is 16% better, but if we take a look at the 4070 non-Ti, 50% better. Interesting. Obviously, I could upgrade in the future, so let's take a look at the 5070 Ti's. We can do a gigabyte WindForce small form factor. Is that what that was? So it's a little bit over MSRP by about 100, which actually isn't super bad. All things considered with how it is. I mean, it's a 5070 Ti, so compared to so we're gonna look 5070 Ti versus 4070 non Ti, non super. Um it should be fine. How this is 16 gigabytes of GDDR. Is this 7? Yeah, GDDR7. So this will be better than my 8 gigs of GDDR6X that I believe my 4070 has. And this is probably also underclocked and undervolted because it's a laptop. It's not the laptop size or like the laptop version of the GPU. It actually is the full desktop version. But for it to run on a laptop, it probably is underclocked. I have it. Um, maybe I don't have it on. I usually have it overclocked. I usually have MSI Afterburner on. So let me bring this back up. Afterburner helps. So I have a 249 megahertz core clock and then plus an additional 1114 megahertz on memory. It does help, not a whole lot, but we can go with that. So this is probably what we would want to do for the card itself, 850 bucks, so exactly 100 over, which brings us at 850. We are going to be using a custom part case that I have linked here. So add a custom part. All right, could not figure out the part. So we're gonna do part QRL. We're gonna do the Sliger 4170A, right? Yeah, and it was how much was it? 249 even. Okay, probably also should have figured out the GPU clearance, making sure it actually fits in this build. So let me take a look here. So if we're gonna be doing GPU, maximum card height is 158. That should be fine. Honestly, I don't even see. The length is 324 is the maximum length. And this is 324 width, an air cooler with an air cooler, not a CPU cooler. Um, Thickness of the radiator plus case fans plus GPU length must equal less than 349. So we could possibly get a low profile air cooler in there, but we are going to stick with an air cooler for now. So this should fit in that CPU. So we are doing good so far on that. I have a few hours to work on Crewin. We have not worked on. For some reason, not see the stream still on Twitch, but I guess we'll figure it out. I don't know if it's just the Twitch online, so let's check the Twitch on. I don't think I have the Twitch app. Yes, I do. There we go. Yeah, that's definitely really weird. It's just not showing video. It's showing it after the fact, which is weird. So we're just gonna go and turn off the Twitch while we figure out what the hell is going on with that. All right. I- Hold on a second. Is it not showing? Okay, it is showing. Okay, so YouTube's working just fine. Restream's having some issues, so we're just gonna close out of that as well. And we'll get over here. Yeah, so this is one of the things I wanted to do was just kind of get like an ultimate build under 35, under 4,000. Um, Power supply. I want something a high efficiency, so I'm gonna do 80 plus platinum or titanium. You want it fully semi-modular. Um, my favorite brands are Corsair and Be Quiet, so we're gonna do those. And then I want to have the minimum wattage be 1,000, and then have the max be 1,500. Probably don't need more than that. Might even sit on the middle with some sort of 1,200. So this is straight power. So this is the extremely expensive Power Pro 13. So let's try and find something on like the 200 side. Like the Corsair HX100i 2023. It is 1,000 watts, which I want to be at 1,200. Let's just bring it up to 1,200. I'm trying to make sure I just have enough leg room for expansions. With a lot of the stuff, not like this. Now we have a 1,500 watt 270 Core 6 HX 1,500i, which is going to be, I mean, enough for me. I feel like that should be at the 1,200 watt. All right, so the 1,200 watt version is 319. The 1,500 is $50 off. I still so the same price. So let's just keep 1,200. Oh no, like $30 more. Yeah, let's add it. Add it. There we go. So plan would be to swap over my I think my plan would be to swap over my drives. So I have a 2 TB and a 4 TB. Crewin is on that 4 TB drive. So and they're both NVMe, so they're both fine. I think only one of them's a Gen 3, the other one's a Gen 4 drives. We should be fine there to go without that. Now, I really don't want to skimp out on RAM. I think I want to do a 96 gig 248, so that way I can upgrade to another set of 248 gigabytes at a later point. So we have this Dominator Platinum 96 gig, 6600 for 410. I do like Corsair, so I might just do like a straight Corsair build. Vengeance 96 gig at 5200 is too. Head up to like 30, you can get up to 6000 other than. So let's the 96 gig back. Let's go. Let's go decently high end, but something that's not breaking the budget. So we're already at 1700, almost 1800. So we're getting up there in price already. All right, so motherboard. Actually, let's choose CPU first. Now, as much as I love Ryzen, and I had a Ryzen on my first computer, um, I think I want to go back to Intel. Unreal Engine plays better with Intel. Unreal Engine plays better with Intel. So at least when I had my before I switched over to Intel, the Ryzen, I had the more threads, but I feel like it performed better with an Intel CPU. So I think we're gonna go with the 14 on 14900, one of the 14900K series. Um, unless we want to go up to like the Ultra 9. Core Ultras compared to yeah, 14 14900K versus full Ultra 285K. Yeah, that's it. Even the 14900K is still a little bit better without, and that doesn't even have hyperthreading on it. See, this is 2424, this is 2432. And we saw the 14900KS, which is still the fastest on the market. Only 2% better, which is kind of freaking crazy. Well, the KF takes the cake in between the K and the KS. So yeah, we're gonna keep it at the 14900K. I just wanted to see where we were going there. 14. There we go. So K is 388. How is the KF 39? Usually the KF series is lower. So yeah, this regular 1400K motherboard. Now since we have compatibility filter, we want to do a Z series for overclocking. So we're going to do a Z790. Oh, now let's go down. Let's make sure we have an ATX or E8. Let's do ATX 4 and straight all the way. Let's knock out yeah, unrated. And my favorite brands are Gigabyte and NZXT. I love the N7, but I think I might go with the N7. So I need to get a CPU cooler and then motherboard update. The N7 should have the ability to do a no CPU update. I at page for it. Okay, never mind the Amazon page for it. Back. Let's see if there's a BIOS button on it. It's not showing me. Down. BIOS flash. Which BIOS? Oh, they don't have a BIOS flash. I mean, it should automatically support it because this 14 series have been out for a decent bit. So CPU cooler, I want something. If we head back to the Slinger page, let me see what is the air cooler on it. Up to 158 millimeters tall, and they recommend the Noctua NHD12. Okay, well, let's find that one. Let's grab a Noctua. NHD. Probably the black one. Make sure it's air. Okay. Single fan, dual heat sink. Looks really nice. So let's add it to the part list here. Let's keep going. We're on a roll here. I mean, we're technically done, aren't we? We have the case, we have the power supply, the video card. We're only sitting at 2,500, which is not bad at all. Um, Considering. So now let's go over all the optionals that I would be getting at a later date. Let's go with wired network cards. Who want 10 gig? I don't card I want. Let me just get. I'm gonna be doing a 10 gig fiber card. So we're gonna be doing um SFP plus 10 gigabyte network card. Um, I mean, my network only does 10 gig max internally, and I feel like that's how I want to. I mean, unless I want to try and get like a ConnectX 5, like, or no, like a ConnectX 4. Is that what it was? Yeah, the ConnectX 4 is 25 gig. That's the one I want. So the ConnectX 4 goes shopping for $100 on Amazon. I'd probably just choose or not free. Wow. I know it's I'd be able to get it a decent chance of it working. So let's do that. Let's head back. Add custom part. All right, there we go. So now we're sitting at 2042 for 26.90. Got that $50 discount, which I don't count that. So there we go. We got that. I think I want to upgrade my webcam as well. I've had this face cam for about 4 years, and I want to get something decent. I want to get either a 2K or a 4K webcam. Um, so I do like the Insta360. I think it's kind of cool that can like pan around, but I don't feel like for streaming it's the best thing to use. If I want 4K only, We got the Insta360 or two different Logitech. How many people are using? Okay, let's look at their website here. Okay. I mean, it looks decent. Yes. Okay, whiteboard.
Now, let's move on to the next topic of discussion. Now,
Okay, it actually looks decent. Let's add it to. I think that might be a decent upgrade compared to the face cam. Does so that'd be a decent upgrade here. Thermal compound, we have it. UPS systems. I do want to buy a UPS for this rig. I also want to buy one for my business. Oh, but as soon as I move offices and like move into an office building for my business, that setup will be gone and everything will be going through this as I work from home some days. So let's find cyber power, APC or cyber power. Make sure we grab something that's rated. I want to do something that has about 1,000 watts. Instead of us doing cyber power, add that to the list. Um, I don't think we need any other accessory. So having price prices, of course not. We don't need any. I don't really think we need an optical drive, but then again, if the case allows it, okay, add it just in case here. And then operating system we don't need. Monitors we already have. We don't need a sound card. We have a wired network adapter, wireless adapter. It has built-in Wi-Fi 7, the motherboard. I have a pair of headphones, keyboard, mice, speakers, webcams. We've done all that. I think we are good. So in total, everything including the extras is 3,241. I think we did pretty good on that. Um Obviously of that, 850 of that is the card itself, and I have, well, I can get like a temporary card, like if we get, a RTX 2060 Super, something that we can get like for, what are they going for? $220 on eBay, save $600, and if stuff happens later, or maybe it'll go 30 series. But again, I had the 1400K, so it has onboard graphics, so I could use it, at least set it up, and then buy the WindForce card later. So we'll have to go from there. All right, well, we just spent the first half an hour going over a computer. Now it's time for Unreal Engine and fixing it up to the best of our ability. So first things we gotta do is open up a notepad and find this. We have the capsule trace rotation plugin is disabled. We have the graph formatter. We have LD assistant. We have optimization tools, Sky Creator. All right, so these are the plugins that we have installed in the editor but are disabled, which can cause or just trying to clean up the engine a little bit. So we are going to find the engine files right here. We're going to open it up and make some changes here. So not only are we going to open up the engine, we're also going to go into engine and plugins, marketplace, capsule trace rotation. That's gone. Sky Creator. I'm not sure where that is. Optimization tools, LD assistant, graph formatter. I have no idea where Sky Creator is. It's in the Crewin files. Plugins, Sky Creator plugin. Actually, no. Do simple use EC. That causes get rid of it. All right, we got rid of Sky Creator caps. Okay, so we got rid of all of those. Works for me. Now since we've gotten rid of all that, before we actually go ahead, we get back to Crewin and generate project files. And we're essentially going to be doing this multiple times as we, get through things. Now we should get an error saying that we have to, or maybe we have, oh no, since they're gone, we don't have to recompile. Initially, at least. But as I want to, actually, project. I want to open up the Crewin, right? Yeah, I want to open up the. Let's just open file location and open it up. There we go. As soon as we know that it will load, that'll be good. So let's see. Look for Crewin dot target. We didn't get rid of image. Fine. We've gotten rid of a couple things here, which is fine. It makes things a little bit easier for us to navigate. The engine doesn't have as much stuff in it now. Now we can exit. So we're going to try and make some changes now in the Crewin.target. We're going to do B, use, Unity, build, false. We're going to do B, use B, ch files, B, true. I'm also going to do B, build all modules, false. We're going to add actually, no, might be okay there. We'll add the rest of it. I want to add at some after we figure out how we're doing this. We're going to do Crewin editor, target it's yes. And then we kind of just need to copy and paste. That's not how it's done. Hold on a second. Oh, I gotta build the project files again and see if we can get this to work. Going to eat just try that again here. Now since I didn't realize that I did a typo. Now, what I'm mainly doing right now is just making um the editor slash Crewin run better. Like it working. So we'll make sure it loads real quick here as we continue to see. I'm really hoping it does, because if it does, it'll make things a lot easier going forward. My back not feeling best right now. Hoping loaded. Can't say if it's gonna do any better yet, but essentially this is going to give me cleaner incremental builds, which is decent. More control over what's being compiled by doing the all what was it? The all modules, and it also reduces unused engine bloat from being used. So there's a few things more I want to try and do for performance gains, which includes trim engine platforms and build targets, cook and packaging optimizations, and an editor, tweet, and slate settings. So we also have real time turned off on the scalability medium to reduce the engine load. So that should help us going forward with quite a few things. We're just trying to make sure the engine stays optimized and neat as we continue down the development path here. So uh, we're starting to get into uncharted territory here. So we are going to be making some minor changes to the U project file. Um, we have to find the target platform right here. So instead of all desktop Mac no editor, just Windows no editor. So that will help us there. So now we're making sure that we're only preparing assets and configuration for Windows instead of trying to compare for Mac and all desktop. So that will help us a little bit. If we go back to the Crewin target CS, not the editor, regular target of CS. All right. Let's put it where now? I put the code. I mean, let's just put it at the bottom. Let's just do it at the bottom. Just make it easier. So we're gonna if the target sorry target dot platform not equal Unreal target platform dot win64, we're going to throw a new build exception. I can spell. Say this project only supports Win64. We're going to hope that works. So let's minimize this for now. Another thing that I realized that I just here, we should remove, or we should remove all or disable all of these that are used for Android and VR. Actually, I think I might have already done that. Okay, we already did that. So we'll have to generate project files again. I'm missing a semicolon right here. There we go. Okay, now we can go and try and rebuild the project files again here. Right? Did not spell it right. Of course I didn't. All right, there we go. Now generate registry project files. Again! Uh, That's not good. Um, oh, I think I might have figured out what I did. Here, let me just copy and paste this bit of code. It says if the first line doesn't work, do the second one, then try and do it. As I'm going through some documentation that I've been going, trying my best to make under. Well, I'm gonna copy. This. I don't want to do it this way, but I guess we'll try it that way. Just want to make sure that I am only making the engine do what I need to do and not stuff that I'm not planning it to do. All right, I think it's gonna work this time. And why is it thinking it's working on HoloLens? The hell? Now the next step is only for cooking, and that is only for when I'm actually doing updates. So we're actually not going to do that right away. Now, Crewin does take a long time to load from the engine, which is another thing that I'm trying to fix here. But we're there you go. We're back somewhat. So this should make things a lot easier. So the other thing is the editor slash Slate UI performance tweaks, which I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work. We've already turned off real time, which is fine. Um, edit. We am going to editor preferences here. We're gonna go to content browser. Let's see. Go content browser. So we're going to turn off. Hold on. Real-time thumbnails. Show frame rate and performance. That's good there. Those unused tabs. That's fine. All right, we're gonna go to editor preferences, blueprint editor, and then we're gonna look for in there. Okay, well we can just skip that. Let's go in plate dot runtime stats go plate dot show overdraw 0 plate dot show outline. That's not the right button. That does. Okay, so that should make things definitely a lot better. Now it's saying to reduce the oh wait, there's one more I want to do. Enable global invalidation. There we go. So it says to reduce startup. I should make the editor map an empty level instead of it making it be the whole Crewin level itself, which might be decent. I mean, that might help. Another thing is about this. This is what I'm looking at. The mountain. So let's look at this error. So the warning means that Unreal Engine is overloading the GPU driver's command queue, forcing a flush because hit the threshold. 15,039. 1001. Okay. This doesn't always crash the engine, but can start starting, line frame times, eventuality crashing. Yeah. Common reasons in Unreal Engine 4 is large editor viewpoints left open, complex UG block background tabs, plugins by performance monitor and common UI, real-time thumbnails of GPU overhead or memory leaks. Okay. Move or disable unnecessary UI heavy plugins. All right, so let's go into multi-user editing. I have not been using this. Go there. We'll go to common UI. Let's keep that on for now. Performance monitor is also off. Let's start. All right. Now, I think the main reason for that error might actually be because of how unoptimized my whole um landscape is. I have not really done anything to optimize the landscape, and I've done everything else to optimize everything else, so that way the landscape could be the last drawback. So, well, I guess we've done a couple things. We have reduced the component and the actual like resolution of the landmass, which hasn't seemed to do a lot, but we'll have to. So, okay, so let's Let's actually adjust the threshold just to see, because obviously the 4070 should be able to take a decent bit here. So we're gonna go to Slate RHI render. Not seeing it. Okay, what if we go over? Would it be? I guess we can go through it. I'm not seeing the engine here. Let's just head over to Unreal Engine 4.7. Engine, source, runtime, Slate RHI renderer, private. Not there. Let me take a. I want to put this in the chat GPT, try and see if with it where it thinks it is. Oh, I'm in public. Whoops. Oh, we're looking private. R8. See. Go. Back. It's not in there. Not I'm doing an entire solution search for it. E-Force Flush. Inside Blueprint Auto Nation Tests. Targets. Let's see if we can find this in the Axeman or Flush. Come on. All right, so it looks like it's not there, which is fine. It's just something that I wanted to take a look at. So go back into Crewin, put it up here. This takes the longest part, and it probably is because of that. That fix would probably fix it. At least I hope it would. But we're not quite there yet. All right, let's take a look at this. Okay, so I think we have to go to each type of hole. Got like a meshes. Yeah, let's open up Black Hollow Capital. Let's make things easier. This is probably one of the best, or like one of the craziest things that I'm gonna have to get fixed here. That's code. Browse. We use this as a actor. Does this have calling? It does have calling. Okay. So what if we take all the trees, just bulk edit to minimum, say 5,000? I have to regenerate. crash. I'm re-stimulating all the trees. So this might take a minute. Honestly, this might crash my computer. We're about to find out. Um, while we're here, let's let's watch let's watch this. So we can close that, close this, or things taking about 11 gigs of RAM right now. Trying our best to stay up. Oh, okay. Um, changed changed it, but it didn't work. It did. Copy this. The oh no, maybe it just didn't. Maybe we should. Oh, there we go. GPU crash or DV device from. Take a picture of that as well. Grab this. Make that bigger. Add this in there. And then restart. I'm just gonna plug that error into ChatGPT and just let it give me a. So I've exceeded the amount of VRAM or command Q limits, and my GPU thread stalled too long. I can make a registry edit to make it better. Hmm. Anyhow, let's see what doing. All right, so the next thing that we're going to try and do is a few things after we, get ourselves back in here. We can open Actually, I don't think we can either though. Let's bring Black Hollow Capital back open. Couple things on my phone as well. This. Whoa. All right, we're gonna close in there. I mean, I gotta fix this anyway. So each of these is a blueprint. Test it out on this. Let's open up the full blueprint editor. Here, let's the VT read everything then. I'll allow call distance volume. Includer, let's also do. Good. It's gonna change a lot, and this might hurt my computer a little bit. So save this, done. Save that, done. We don't need this. We're gonna keep that open. And we're also going to, okay, that should make things a lot nicer. Honestly, I think that might not even be long. I think we might need to do 25 to 30,000. To 25,000. I just want to make sure we're actually able to see a decent bit of things. Might be this actually do setting. And figure out how we should do it. All right, so and we're good how we want things to be here, so we are good on that standpoint. So not only should that hopefully make things a little bit better. Okay, let's turn on real time. For some reason, it's still doing it, even with this, which is definitely very weird. Okay, let's save this first. Real quick. All right, so let's that init views. All right. Okay, I'm looking online for ways that things we can fix it. So essentially, it's gonna take some time, but if we go into each of the go into tick and essentially do get player character, we're gonna get distance to get distance to self, and then return value, and do I'm gonna get a branch. This is going to be less less than 15,000. We're going to one. No, we want to do greater. There you go. So now if the distance to this is greater than 15,000, we're going to set act hidden in game true. We're also going to do set actor enable collision to false. Then we're going to do the same to here to false true and plug that into tick. Now I should just be able to take this and go into each blueprint and just add this to tick. We're going to see how that works. So we're actually going to all of them right now. Let's make it quick and easy. So that's done. We can go into Birch here, file and save. Go into this one, file and save. And I don't know how much this will help, at least in the editor. In game, this should help a decent bit with performance. and reduce the GPU overhead, or like reduce the GPU stress in game, which is really all that really matters. Okay. So let's remove stat init views and let's play. So we're getting there. My headphones are dead. That's probably why. I wonder how long my headphones have been dead for. I would never have known. Alright, let me make sure I have this open. Okay. We're sitting at 30 frames a second for some reason. Alright, there's no way to know for sure that was having any. We're gonna have to launch as a standalone game and see how things are in the game. Let's make that jump real quick as we just sit here and wait. It's already been an hour and a half, so I feel like we're doing pretty good. Here we go. We'll just give it a second to get itself going here. Taking its sweet old time. There we go. A little bit of stuttering at first, but it looks like we managed to get ourselves out in the open here. Running on Epic. Let's move down to medium at 1440. Alright, so now this is 1920 by 1080. And full screen. I'm seeing some screen tearing on my side. We're gonna up it to 1440. Here we are now, and then this is when the audio system crashes for some reason. It gets moved to one of my monitors, which doesn't have sound. Yeah, so that's where we stand here. Going, go in here. I want to check my stats. So we're gonna do stat RHI. We're also going to take screenshots of these. Maybe. Maybe not. Every time you try, you get jumped back in. What if we go into windowed mode? All right, let's restart the game. We completely botched the whole reason for doing this. Okay. This is one of the last things we're gonna be doing tonight. Is at least just trying to get this to work the best that we can. Yeah, I'm just gonna open up sniffing tool for when it's ready. And we're just gonna sit here and wait for it to load. All we really can do in this situation is just let it load. Albeit I don't want to let it load. Go stat RHI. Let's get outside. Try and find a place with some over here. This is definitely a bug that would need to be squashed beforehand. Like, holy shit. It's also this dog shit too, how it looks. I don't think the system's working. Okay, now it's working. Okay, there we go. All right, let's take a picture of this. I think we almost got it. At least in terms of... All right, so that means that we only have an issue with the editor and not the game itself, which is good. So we managed to move that down. So I think that's, I mean, I think we've done pretty good so far. and definitely at a point where I could probably safely continue development, other than the lighting issue, which we'll talk about next stream. So that's going to be it for this stream. We've already done a lot in the last almost 2 hours. We have optimized Unreal Engine to the point where it is a lot more usable now on this machine. And we've also determined that it is only the editor that's having an issue with the actual playing of the game and the development, and not the game itself, which also makes me a little bit more less stressed about the game's performance itself. So I'm not sure when the next um, stream will be with school ending. I mean, Wednesday nights. Well, I mean, I guess it's really dependent on when I don't work my night job. So Friday and Saturday most likely, because that's my commencement. Friday night off for a fundraiser, and then Saturday is commencement. So I could probably do both nights. I could